So what we're going to do is we're going to go through how to change your PTO shaft shear bolt. So we're going to first start with how you would assess that that is the bolt that is actually broken. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to notice that the snow isn't blowing anymore, so chances are you've broken a shear bolt. So from the cab, you're going to be able to identify that the PTO shaft is spinning, but the bar which will basically run to the chain, that is no longer spinning. So that will be your first indicator that it is the PTO shaft that has broken the shear bolt. So I'm going to turn on the tractor, I'm going to turn on the PTO shaft, so you guys are going to be able to see exactly what goes on there.
That bar there is spinning.
So from that, you're going to be able to see that the shaft was spinning, but the bar was not. So number one, always key out of the ignition. This is the most important thing because the tractors, they can be very dangerous. So you want to make sure you're doing this in the most safe way as possible. Number two, your key for the lock to be able to access that shear bolt is going to be on your key as well. So key out of the ignition, you make sure that your PTO shaft or PTO button is turned off, because otherwise when you go into the tractor again to start it, if that button is on, the tractor won't actually start. So you're going to always want to make sure that that gets shut off as well. Two most important things. So now I've got my key, I'm going to lift my lock. Now this bolt can be literally a game of luck. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to hope that it's lined up, but chances are it won't be lined up. But in this case, I am a little bit lucky. So with the shaft, you've always got a hair bit of play. So in this case, I'm going to show you how I can actually use my hands, because this will be the hole for the bolt, this is the hole for the bolt. So I've actually got enough play to be able to bring that one back. Now, if it was any further than that, then I wouldn't have enough play to be able to line that up. So in that case, what you're going to do is from the tractor, you're going to go back in, you're going to start the tractor, you're going to just turn the PTO ever so slightly just to get it to move a little bit. And then once it's close enough to the other plate, basically what you can do is turn the tractor off, grab your key again, go back out, and then you should be able to wiggle it by hand. So in this case, I was lucky, it was my lucky day. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 turns that, well, quite frankly, it could be even more than that if you're unlucky, that you've got to sometimes sit there from the inside, spin it to get it to line up. So in order to do that, to see it properly, you will need this to be up like this. Otherwise, if it's down, you have actually no way of being able to tell whether it's lined up or not. So that's where you will want to be able to take this apart. Now I've already got my tools, so I'm going to take my PTO bolt, which is the longer of the two that will be in your bag, and then I'm going to insert it. I like to go from the back side. If you go from the front side, you can, but you're probably going to get full of grease. If you do get full of grease, no problem, you do have your wipes inside. But what I'm going to do is, in this case, I'm going to put the bolt through the back. You've got your nut right here. You're going to twist it on as far as it'll go by hand. And then you're going to take your socket and your wrench basically to tighten it. So you're going to want to make sure it is as tight as possible. The socket and the wrench are both a 1/2 inch. The bolt is, I believe, a 5/16 by 2 inches. So in this case, we always stock the tractors. In the bag, there's going to be a supply of these bolts. If for whatever reason you are breaking an absurd amount that day, for whatever reason, maybe you had something caught that you didn't see, you're going to want to let us know so we can replenish that bag, because definitely don't want the next man to have no bolts. So in this case, what I've done is I've got it nice and tight. I'm very happy with how it is. I'm going to take this key and lock out, put it back down, and then I'm going to lock it back up. So again, like the other bolt, what you're going to always want to do is, now you successfully changed it, if you had something like, say, a rock or a piece of wood, something that caused it to break in the first place, it's very likely that it could be stuck down there at the bottom. So in this case, what you're going to always want to do is lift back up the blower. You're going to want to identify first, while it's off, is there anything that you can visually see that would have caused it. So in that case, what I would suggest is always go back into the tractor, lift up the blower, drive forward a couple of feet so you're able to see the pile. Is there something that sticks out that, say a rock, if that's the case, get out and move that rock. Otherwise, you can just keep blowing some snow again.